something popping up on YouTube that I'm reading. Thank you. Set a delay between messages. Okay. Greetings, peace and many blessings to you. What a beautiful day. It's Tuesday, so happy Tuesday. I'm here today because I'm going to give you some messages, some archetypal messages for the Pisces new moon that is coming up on Thursday, 2/27. I'm just going to shuffle this deck up. I decided it's easier to go live than to record a video and have to edit it and things like that, so let's just do it real rap raw. I am using the Wild Unknown Archetype deck by Kim Krans, or Krans, however you pronounce that, which has been helpful in guiding me to see like what archetypes are present. If you don't know what an archetype is, it's kind of, I guess some people will compare it to a personality trait, which is not proper. It is like the energy of something that is coming through. So for example, like the mother energy is an archetype. The mother, the maiden, and the crane are all archetypes, and they all have a space within us. The mountain, the ocean, the wave, the teardrop, like all of those energies reside within us, and all of the archetypes are present. It's just about when they decide to come up to, you know, provide us with some comfort, provide us with a message, provide us with a lesson, and you know how we can incorporate that into our being. So most recently for me, I've had the medallion, and it's so interesting. Okay, I'll just go into me real quick. But so I pulled the medallion right after I took off my waist beads because I felt like they didn't resonate with me anymore. I had gained some weight, and then it was just a constant reminder of the weight that I gained in a very uncomfortable way that made me just not be kind to myself and what my thought patterns were surrounding the weight gain. So when I pulled the medallion card for myself to see what energies were present, it was just like, you know, what items are you attaching yourself to, and how is it helping you? Like, let's remember that everything holds energy, even the items that you are so-called attached to. And I had my waist beads on since 2022, or yeah. And so I looked at it like, oh, this is a sign of my abundance. They're green, they're this, they're that, and not even really knowing what the energy was of the person who created them. Like, the person put it on me, not really checking in on what their energy was, all of those things that really made a big difference in what was happening for me and how I attached myself to them. Plus, you know, they looked good, they was cute, all that stuff, and then it served a purpose for the body that I was in previously, but it was like an attachment of that body. I would go back and scroll on my phone and just look at pictures of what I used to look like and things like that, and then miss it so much that it just became unhealthy. So yeah, the medallion archetype, it made me look at all of the things that I had present that I was holding on to, and then seeing why I was holding on to it, and even potentially doing an energy clearing on it because of the energy that I may have attached to it, or the energy it may have come from. Especially when it comes to, like, you know, thrifting different items or having things passed to you from someone else. Like, do an energy check-in on what it means for you and what energy it could be carrying, for sure. All right, so we're going to go into these archetypes. Thank you so much for being here. Peace and many blessings to the cards. Of course, we're going to give thanks to my divine self, to my ancestors, to you for being here, and to the cards. I give thanks for my ability to share and receive divine insight, of course, so I can be of service to my loving community and share what needs to be shared. May whatever benevolent energy needs to come through for the love and what is it? For the love. Can you play? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, but for the love and clarity and validity of this reading, may they come through with ease. Thank you so much. Let's shuffle one last time. And we are going to start with the water sign, since the new moon is going to be in the water sign of Pisces. So yeah, let's figure out what archetypes are present. What archetype is present for the water signs, being Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. What archetype is present during this new moon energy that we are stepping into, this dreamy, intuitive energy? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The archetype is the mountain, which is so interesting. So this archetype being present, it has a lot of messages within that I'm already feeling like this heightening of energy in my stomach to express it. the number already is going to be associated with 33. So if you're seeing threes anywhere, let that be a sign that this is a resonant with you. But outside of that, the mountain is about that. Let's even think about Miley Cyrus's song, The Climb, right? It's not about what's waiting on the other side. It's about the climb. It's not about how much it takes to get there, how long it takes to get there. It's about the actual energy of being present within it. And also the mountain, when we have these peaks, or when we see ourselves on a peak, we don't want to start viewing other people as below us. So the energy here could just be maintaining your humility, maintaining your ability to level with other people, because it's not about being on the top of the mountain. It's about being present in the moment with everything that you are experiencing, everything that you are experiencing, and really get into the core of things, right? We see this person that's right in the middle. For the water signs, the energy is like moving away from judgment so that we can fully be present in the moment. When we are judging other people, right, we have this tendency to already make something up about them based on our mindset, right? It's like, oh, well, they look this way, they are that way, I feel this around them, so that means this. And we have this tendency to make meaning of things before we even give it a chance, right? How do we allow ourselves to view it differently before we mark something down as what it is? And even with the sky and the way it looks and it being associated and us being in this Pisces season right now, it's like, what illusions can you break through to allow yourself to fully see, right? Sometimes when we are climbing a mountain or climbing a hill or going uphill with something, we experience some difficulties, and because of the patterns that we already have within us, we don't allow to see something different. So how can you shift your perspective to get around the boulder? Let's just say it's a boulder ahead of us. How can you move around it so that you can see something different to help you elevate yourself, and through that elevation not feel like you are better than anybody, right? So yeah, the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, I just see y'all making an elevation or making a stride, like coming towards some new conclusions by way of moving some things out of the way and getting deeper within yourself. The last thing that I am feeling is like, what gets your fire going? What gets your fire going? What is it that gets your fire going? Are you ready to climb this mountain and drop these judgments that you may have? All right, let's go on to the air signs. Air signs are going to be Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Let's see what your archetypes, your archetypal energy is for the new moon in Pisces. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Your archetype is the self. Ooh, the self. And this is going to be number 24. So if you're seeing 2s and 4s, or 222 and 444, or even 6, right, then this would be helpful to help you resonate. So for the self here, wow, it's like putting yourself at the center. Putting yourself at the center. How can you put yourself at the center of things during this time? You might have been going outside of yourself to seek answers a lot, or going outside of yourself to seek approval and things like that. How can you approve yourself? How can you put yourself in the middle of it? And then also what I'm getting here is, how can you view other people as reflections of you in a way that helps you feel more comfortable with with what you're going through and what you're experiencing? Pull yourself out of the shadows. It's like you are seeing light and beauty and everything else but yourself. So put yourself at the center of the situations. Air signs. Oh goodness. This is like doing something to the throat chakra. It might be something that y'all need to speak up about. The air signs may need to speak up about something that they're not seeing, something that's in the shadows. And the reason that they can't see it, the reason that they're blinded, is because they're not fully seeing themselves. They're not being truthful with themselves about what may be hidden. And when that happens, you start to have things in your outer environment that are going to reflect what it is that you need to see to try to get you to see it. So it may be some irritability stirring up, some discomfort stirring up. And in the midst of that, you're seeing other things potentially as beautiful, knowing that you need to see yourself in that. Or, like I said, you're experiencing that discomfort, and it's just a reflection of what needs to come out of the shadows for you. And And you could need to break the mold about who you think you are. Let's break the mold about who you think you are. Sometimes it gets on our way, right? The mind likes to do this thing. Let me clear this off real quick. Okay, beautiful. The mind likes to do this thing where we put ourselves into who it is that we think we are, and then when we go outside of that mental model of who we think we are, things get real uncomfortable. So the air signs I see are just experiencing some discomfort. There's some discomfort because you have moved away from the focus being on you, and you put the focus on the outer. You put the criteria on the outer. I just heard the word criteria. So yeah, how can you make it about you? How can you turn everything around and make it about you? And again, this is interesting because even with that Pisces message, or not Pisces, but the water sign message, it's like the focus is going to be on you, but it's going to be, that focus is being shifted to you because of how much has been shifted on the outside. Yeah. I feel like this Pisces energy already is showing me how much we have to get out of our own minds and get into our bodies, right? When I say put yourself at the center, it's not a mental thing, right? It is going to be like a radical act of self-love, a radical act of self-care. There's this radical energy of making sure that you are on this path to wholeness, this path to rediscovering or even discovering who you are, remembering fully who you are by way of these challenges. And these archetypes are coming through to get you to go onto that right path. So like I said, there may have been too much going outside of yourself for answers, for visions, for this, for that, like any number of things. And now the Pisces new moon energy is calling us into the darkness of ourselves, into the shadows of ourselves, so that we can go through the dark to find the light. How beautiful is that? Just how beautiful is that? Hi. I saw someone say hi from India. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. That is a distance away. All right, so that is the air signs. Now we are going to go to the earth signs. Earth signs are going to be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. What is the archetypal energy for the earth signs during this Pisces new moon coming through? Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The river, let it flow like the river. Let it flow like the river. And this is going to be 34. Seeing 3, seeing 4, seeing 7s. All may be prevalent for you. The river, flowing like the river. The river is a source of life. It is fresh water, right? So when I think of the water too, sometimes I think of it either being clear or murky. Let me reposition myself. Get a little bit more comfortable. The river can either be clear or murky depending on the conditions on the outside, but the water is still the water no matter what the conditions are. So that makes me just want to remind you, earth signs, that no matter what the circumstances or the conditions are, you still are who you are. And that is more than your name, that is more than your conditions, that is more than your circumstances. And look at your ability to bring life to situations. Then we have this horse here in the imagery of the card that reminds me of that saying. If you can't bring, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. You can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. So the river here is reminding you that, one, release the control of what you want to get other people to do. You can guide them, you can give them insights, you can give them different perspectives, you can spoon feed as much as you want, but you can't make them chew. You cannot make them digest everything beautifully. You can't make them pull the nutrients from the digestion. Like, what you are here to do is just lead. It's just to guide in that moment. You are just there to provide in that moment. And whatever people draw from you, whatever people draw from the river, whatever people take from what you are giving to them, that is up to them. And that is like whatever their ability is to receive what you're offering. And then when it comes to the river, right, we think of emotions. So I do feel that earth signs have a tendency to not fully feel all of the emotions that they are feeling, or not allowing themselves to process all of it. So this is a reminder to allow yourself to feel all of your emotions, to allow yourself to process, to, you know, what else is coming through is the energy of toddlers, like children, how when they experience something that they don't like, or when they experience anything, right, the emotion comes through them and rolls through them. They might tantrum, they might jump up and down and scream and holler and have a good time. They might laugh and giggle until they're rolling around on the floor. But because they allow it to happen in that moment without any judgment, without anything other than what they're feeling, they're so present within themselves that they're not holding on to it. There's not going to be 20 minutes later or even 5 days later where they're upset about something that has happened all them days ago, because they allow themselves to feel it, process it, and move through it all within that present time frame. So that is a reminder too, to not hold. Water does not hold. Water does not hold. It moves. It moves. It moves. So what do you need to see through the moving water, right? It's not boiling water, but it is a stream. We can look down at ourselves and see things for what they are, and provide sustenance even for ourselves. So allow your feelings to flow like the river. Allow yourself to feel things. Allow people to come through and accept what it is that you're giving in the way that they can accept it, because you do not have control over how someone is digesting the things that you are offering to them. Right? You can lead the horse to the water, but you cannot make them drink. So there's that too. And I also see just some clarity coming through for you. There's clarity coming through when you allow yourself to feel things, because sometimes when you bury things, you're reacting from that buried state of mind, reacting from that buried buried energy. It's not clear. So allow yourself this time to get yourself clear-headed, to feel all the emotions that you may have been resisting, and to just get comfortable with who you are as you are. Get comfortable with who you are as you are, earth signs. And last but not least, we have fire. Last but not least, we have the fire signs. Fire signs are going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Thank you so much. We are finishing up lastly with the fire signs. Let's see what their archetypal energy is for the Pisces new moon coming up. What archetype is present within the fire signs? Excuse me. Goodness, another readjustment right before I pull. Goodness, I gotta put something under my ankles. That is the part that is hurting me. All right. That worked out well. Maybe that gave gave everything time energetically to really come to the surface for the fire signs. And I feel myself speaking softer now in this moment. So maybe there's a softening happen for the fire signs. I'm getting like chills and yeah, just softness. We have the river. We have the river coming through again. That's very interesting for the fire signs, because it still could be that same energy that the earth signs are moving through, of just allowing yourself to feel things, right? Fire signs, I feel like, are more likely to go through with those bursts of energy, especially in Aries energy, and even Leo and even Sagittarius. So yeah, it's just a fire sign thing to just get it done, to explode. But explode doesn't have to be negative, or it doesn't have to have this connotation of a negative explosion, right? I'm going to, wow, I gave some time to move and to soften, and this is what comes through again. The river. Is there a different message coming through that you want me to deliver to the fire signs by way of you giving me this card again? Yeah, I'm having this full energy. So there's a need to release, almost like the river has been dammed up or stuffed up, like there's been a blockage here. There's been a blockage from allowing the creativity to flow. Okay, so for fire signs, this river is more about creativity and pulling into different creative pools. Like you may have felt stifled and forced to express your creativity in one way, and the river is coming through to show you that you have multiple ways. You have endless ways of expression, endless ways of receiving support for the ways that you express yourself, and different people come to you for the way that you express for different reasons. They come to you for the way that you express for different reasons. So there's this magnetism about you, this need for sustenance. Not need for sustenance, but in a way that when people are coming to you, it's because they are coming to receive something. And that's not in a negative way. So it's also this thing about being comfortable with what you give, being comfortable about what it is that you are giving. Because sometimes it can feel like it's not enough, but I bet you the river has never once felt like it's not enough. Oh, my water isn't clean enough, my this, my that, because all water isn't to drink from. Sometimes the water is just to clean. Sometimes it is just for fish to swim in. Sometimes it is just for vegetation to grow in so that it can support other life forms that we might not even see. So it's like, do you know the full worth of what it is that you provide? Do you know the full worth of what it is that you provide? Do you know the full worth of what it is that you provide, fire signs? It's interesting that this card comes up twice. That makes me want to read from the book, but if it's not in hand's reach right now, I won't be doing that. Ouch. Yeah, okay, I see it. I see it. Okay. The river, 34. The stream, the flow, the current, acceptance, grace, reflection, forgiveness. And the dark side of this is torment of emotions, flooding, and overwhelm. The river is emotion. When you are in its current, you will know by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, despair. All the emotions flow in its current. All of the emotions flow in its current. You can only resist the river for so long. Eventually, it will pull you towards change. So you may as well get in with style and grace. Allow yourself to move with the river. There's a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in a river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us further down the stream of transformation that we plan to go. Its waters have a special gift of reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind the you that stands within a river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential. Nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. I find that to be beautiful, given that this card came out twice for both the earth signs and the fire signs, right? And it is about seeing yourself, but also I still feel intuitively it is about being okay with what it is that you are offering to other people as well. Because again, everything is just a reflection of you, right? So if people are coming to you to receive something and you're feeling uncomfortable about it, that is a reflection of your own offering. That is a reflection of your own offering. All right, so of course, thank you so much for being here again, and I love you. And if anything resonated with you, if you feel the archetypal energy of any of the things that I mentioned, then let me know how it's coming through for you in the comments. We can have a community chat. And yeah, as always, well, no, not even as always, because last month I didn't do it, but I tend to show up more here on YouTube because I have more of a larger community here. I'm not on Instagram right now. And on my Patreon is where I would do my longer form videos going sign by sign instead of through elements. So if you are interested in receiving things like that, you subscribing to my Patreon will be even more of a push, even more of a motivation to get these things out. And you know, it really is about me and what I want to offer, but a big part of it is like being seen and being recognized for what it is that I do. I'm a Taurus. And that river card is coming through. So I have to recognize and see myself, and then maybe everything will come through. But yeah, I'll be the motivation. I will be the motivation. I will be the motivation for myself. That hit hard. All right, so thank you again. I'm gonna get off of here because I got some things to do today. But yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know. Oh crap, I thought I was gonna end it. How do I end this? There we go. Peace.